everyone. Today I'm going to talk about function composition. Assume that we have two functions of f of x and g of x with real number outputs. We can define the composition of function as f of g of x, which can be evaluated by plugging the second function listed into the first function listed. Therefore, we can have f of g of x equals to, we can actually write it as f of g of x, as you can see in here. Let's look at one example. The example is if f of x equals to x2 minus 1, x squared minus 1, and g of x is equal to 2 times x, find f of g of 2. So for here, we have to use the definition that we already seen for f of g of x. Therefore, we can say f of g of 2 is basically equal to f g of 2, which means that first we have to calculate g of 2, and then once we have the answer for g of 2, we plug in this in here and we can find f of the actually g of 2. So let's see what is g of 2. G of 2 is equal to 2, and as you can see, the function is 2 times x, so it's going to be 2 times 2 equals to 4. And now it's time to find f of 4, because g of 2 is going to be plugged in here. Therefore, from there we have f of 4. And now let's look at the function of f of x, which is x squared minus 1. So instead of x, we have to plug in 4. Therefore, it's going to be 4 squared minus 1. So the answer is going to be 15. Let's look at the second example that we have for today. The second example is saying that we have f of 2 equals to 3, g of 3 equals to 2, f of 3 equals to 4, and g of 2 equals to 5, and we are looking for f of g of 3. So we want to find f of g of 3. So based on the definition, it is basically f of g of 3, and if we look back in the problem statement, g of 3 is basically 2. So instead of g of 3, we can plug in 2 based on the problem information. Therefore, it is going to be f of 2, and from the problem information we know that f of 2 is equal to 3, so the answer is going to be 3. The last example that we have for today is f of x equals to x minus 1 over x plus 1, g of x equals to x to the power of 3, and we want to find f of g of x. So for here again, we have to use the same definition for the function composition. So f of g of x is basically f g of x, and instead of g of x, now we have to plug in x cubed. So it's going to be f of x cubed. Now it's time to plug in x cubed instead of x inside the function of f of x. Therefore, whatever we see, actually wherever we see x, we have to plug in x cubed. So it's going to be x cubed minus 1 over x cubed plus 1. So as you have seen through this 3 examples, the definition of function composition is just based on substitution of the second function listed inside the first function listed, and we can easily solve any type of function composition based on this definition. Thank you very much for watching this video.